Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I like donuts.
I also like donuts.
Everyone likes donuts. Anyone who doesn't like donuts is not a human. Now, we'll get 65 comments of people saying I don't like donuts.
Like donuts. Shut up, bag of meat.
Anyway, this game is about an old-timey donut shop, because these have been around for a while, making people unhealthy for the last 100 years.
Yeah, but in the sweetest of ways.
That's true. It's a tile-laying game. Here's how it plays. In this game, players are trying to get points, which in this game is lots and lots of money. Well, not actually that much. You might end the game with $3.74. But in this game, you are going to be placing donuts. This is the starting tile in the game. And on a player's turn, they're going to place a tile. And they're going to score. They're going to pick one donut on that tile. So let's say I pick the white donuts here. I'll score 5 cents for each donut a tile, and then each donut that's connected in a group to that. So here I would get 15 plus these 10 more, so 25 cents, while this person could place this one here and get 5 plus this big giant group of white tiles. So the more tiles that are placed, the more points you're going to get. After that, if you can box some donuts. Now each player starts with a small box of donuts, but there are larger size donut boxes that you can get, and you're going to place one if you have the correct cards. So players will start the game with a card, but they're going to collect more cards as the game goes by. So let's say I want to put a box of donuts right here. Well, to do that, I would need to play a chocolate donut card, and I would need to play the vanilla ice donut card here. And I would just then place this here, which gives me 20 cents. If I wanted to go up into that grouping there, I would need to play 3 cards because I need yellow, white, and chocolate. And you can play any 2 cards as one of another. And this one is worth 30 cents. Well, you can see if you can get out the full dozen, that's worth 60 cents. But I would need a few cards to do so. Some cards give bonuses when you play them. This card, for example, gives 10 cents for each sprinkle yellow donut. So you can see this one here has sprinkles on it. Others will give you points if you play multiples, like these coffee cards. If I play 2 of them, I'll get 15 cents extra. And if I play 3 of them, I'll get 25 cents extra. So you do place a tile on your turn, and then you may box something. And then at the end of your turn, you are going to take another tile and another card. It comes in these things you have to assemble when they fit in the box here, showing off donuts. So I can take a face-up donut tile or a face-up donut card. So let's say I want to take this one because I want to score maybe for the sprinkled crawlers here. And then whatever one you take the face-up in, you take the face-down of the other. And then you replace, and it's the next person's turn. When these run out, everyone gets one final turn, and whoever has the most points is the winner. I really like the look of this game. I mean, I really like the look. I think the donuts, they did a good job at how they look. The sprinkles are not distracting enough that you say, oh, I wonder, I get confused which one's blue and which one's blue with sprinkles.
Yes, right. I agree.
That's nice, and it's, you know, the little 3D things, which are unnecessary, make the box bigger because it holds them.
Yeah.
But they look good.
It's a trade-off, but they do look good. I do like the display of donuts is a neat one. The card holder, it's like whatever, but the display of donuts is neat. And I do like, you said old-timey. I like that that's the setting, actually.
Yeah, I don't know.
If it was like a modern donut shop, that's fine. But there's something about this one and the fact that like what you're making is a few pennies. Yes. I find that kind of charming.
So some of you are watching this thinking, I'm having deja vu. I've already seen this review. Mm-hmm. It's because we already posted this review once, but we made a major rules mistake that we fixed in this one, and that is in regards to placing the tiles and scoring for them. And that's a big part of the game. In fact, it could be made that it's the biggest scoring part of the game, or at least it's definitely on par with putting out the boxes to score. Mm-hmm. But I will say that I think that rule and the way that they show example in the rule book isn't very clear. I'm still not sure we've 100% played it correctly.
Yes, I agree that the rule book shows an example of that rule in its most basic implementation, and it could have benefited from further examples showing the spilling over of scoring past the very first line of donuts. They're showing you sort of like the most basic way that this might trigger. And a few pictograms of various ways these things could go, that goes a long, long way. So I agree.
Now, that being said, it's a really easy game to play.
Yeah.
You place a donut, you do it, and then you draw one tile and draw one card. And
you get one. Another great rule there where you get to take one of those two things face up, and then the other one you get whatever you get. You get random. That's great. It keeps the pace going, right? And it lets you decide, and there's not at all an obvious side that you default to.
Well, sometimes
you bounce back and forth though quite a bit.
Oh, right. I never.
It's not like it's always taking the tile face up better. No. Like you definitely sometimes need the card, and you get whatever tile, or you need that tile, and you hope that no one breaks up this nice big set. That dichotomy between a large group and it keeps getting bigger, and you keep scoring, and eventually it's like 80 cents and whatever, and breaking it up so that other people don't get paid off of your own, effort there. That's the push and pull of it.
So there's not a lot more to say, really, because it is putting those out. I like that you have your own small box, which has two things. One, it means you can always play that box, and two, once you understand the game a little better, it's probably best to say that to break up a big group of donuts that people are just scoring off of. Mm-hmm. It plays fine at 2. I think it's kind of weird. It's just a smidge longer than I think it should be.
I agree with that, and I felt the same way. It feels you're doing the exact same thing. I think that's what it is. In this game, you don't get better at anything. Nothing evolves, really. You don't.
Well, there's bigger groups, and you can have a big hand of cards.
There shouldn't be bigger groups. You should be breaking those up. You should be covering them.
But what I mean is you can get a big hand of cards, though, at least. And
I suppose.
I can place anywhere. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, I suppose, but it kind of feels... I anyway, felt like I was doing the same things by the end of the game as I was doing at the beginning of the game. So that part, there was not that sort of scaling up. And I also found the game to just kind of be... not exciting. I enjoyed it fine, and if somebody wants to play this game, I'm happy to sit down and sling some donuts, play some cards. It's very simple. It's like super basic intro game, the kind of game that should be available in mass market stores and that sort of thing. But I just found it kind of flat. It lacks curvature. It lacks excitement.
What would you give
it? I'm going to come down at a 6 on this one. I, again, certainly wouldn't be opposed to playing it. And I could even see myself teaching it to folks, actually, if they're like, oh, we don't really play very many things. I'm like, here's one you might like. The theme, who could object to that? And the gameplay, they will catch on to.
Dietitians.
That's fair. Dentists. But for me personally, like if I'm pulling a game off the shelf, it's probably not this one. I thought it was... Yeah, Jeffrey Allers has made other games. Like he made a game a long time ago that was called A Piece of Cake. Later rethemed with a pizza pie theme.
Jeffrey Allers, enemy of dietitians.
Yeah. So that game is a tile game, a sort of a set collection, but as the game goes on, you feel tension. There's things you want that you want to make sure other people don't want. There's that turn angst. This one didn't give me a lot of turn angst.
I like it a little better than Z. I give it a 7 because I think it works for me. The theme definitely is there,
sure.
Right? I like the donuts, and I love the little 3-dimensional donut display. That just looks cool.
Yeah.
But I think I like having games like this where I can teach them to people.
Sure.
And it's a tile laying game, but it's like a dual tile laying game. First you lay the tiles, then you put the boxes on top of the tiles. So you're covering up stuff. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of money being exchanged in the game for sure. And like I said, just a smidge longer, but I think it's enjoyable, and I think a lot of people aren't going to have that problem. This is definitely one of those games that I would have, and some people came over who don't play many games, and I'll be like, you'll like Donut Shop.
Yeah.
It's really easy to teach, and the theme will bring them in. And you should eat donuts while playing. That should be a rule. Then I'd give it an 8.
Are you providing the donuts? Because then it gets a 9.
Anyway, folks, that's Donut Shop. I'm Tom Vessel.
I'm Z Garcia.
We'll see you next time. Bring donuts. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.